Assalamu alaikum. I am Salihu Usman and together with me is Abdullahi Musa. I just felt it is pertinent that we make this little discussion. Abdullahi Musa, there is one of our friend, a colleague, who is intending to marry a girl, and knowingly to him, in their family runs sickle cell disease. But he engaged her, proposed to her that he is going to marry her. Unfortunately to him, that this girl run test and was found AS, which means she is a carrier. Him too, he went and run a test and was found to be AS. And you know, especially this time where sickle cell disease is rampant in our society, and I know it has a very drastic effect on the couples after marriage and their families too, their unborn children. As a personnel, as a nurse too, I know this genotype, AS and AS, are really not compatible for them. And I think there is consequences, even if they go on and get married. So what's your advice? What do you think is the consequences they are going to suffer after their marriage? What do you advise them to do? Is it to proceed and get married or halt the process?
Okay, like my colleagues has already introduced, my name was Abdullahi, and going by the scenario, first thing why they are missing it is some are saying is by chance, skill set disease, especially if the couples are career, like the way he narrated, the person that has proposed for the girl is ES, also the girl is ES. So first and foremost, sickle cell disease, we need to understand this. Sickle cell disease is a hereditary disease. It's a disease that you can inherit it from your parent. Both the parent has to have faulty genes which you inherited from them. So whenever these couples get married, that barrier has not been broken, and the chances of them having sickle cell child is very possible because genotype or sickle cell disease is something that can be inherited, and it's something that you don't know when you pass that genes, because it's something that has been controlled in it, that is internally to the person. It's not something that you can control often. So what I would advise them is they shouldn't go forward, because going forward to engage and get married to these girls, there are high chance of them having sickle cell child, and that sickle cell child will be having a lot of issues that has to do with his cells, because sickle cell disease specifically affects the red blood cell, which is one of the cells of the blood that is responsible for the transportation of oxygen, because it has what we call hemoglobin, and this hemoglobin, it aids in the transportation of oxygen that we inhale. And what is being affected is how red blood cell is being formed. That is the structure of the red blood cell. Normally, red blood cell is non-nucleated and is like a disc in shape. So the sickle cell disease patient, the shape of that red blood cells has been affected, and when it isn't affected, definitely the capacity of how that red blood cell transport oxygen into the tissue will be affected too, and therefore even the lifespan of red blood cell in a normal healthy individual, you see a red blood cell will take up to 121 days before it later died. But for sickle cell disease patient is something different, because their red blood cell will not reach up to that days. Sometimes 50 days, 70 days, even less than that, it will die. Because so that is why they will be having a crisis of what we call sickle cell anemia, because they won't be having sufficient blood for the circulation in the body. Going by the consequences, like I said, they shouldn't go forward and married, because that chance of maybe saying I have one normal gene and one abnormal gene, You don't know when you are going to pass the abnormal one. The normal one